My name is Sadiq Bhanbhro. I'm a senior research fellow at Sheffield Hallam University, UK. I'm trained as a social anthropologist, public health professional, and an interdisciplinary researcher. I have MSc in social anthropology from Kaiser University, Islamabad, Masters in public health from University of Sheffield, UK, Masters in science in public health from Jagiellonian University, Krakow, Poland, and interspecialization from French School of Public Health, Rennes, France. Recently, I have completed Higher Education Practice Certificate and become Associate Fellow of Higher Education Academy, which is a British professional membership scheme promoting excellence in higher education. I regularly write articles on social, political, and health related issues for the Express Tribune Pakistan, the Conversation UK, and a Sindhi Delhi Panji Akhbar. I have been providing mentoring support to people for getting scholarship to study abroad. Presently, I am doing a part-time PhD as a staff member of the university on exploring and understanding the notions of honor, uh, izzat, ghairat, and their relationship with the honor killings of women and girls in Pakistan and UK. I have led and completed several research and development projects not only in the UK but Pakistan, Indonesia, Philippines, Poland. So far, I have published more than 20 peer reviewed research papers in high quality international journals and two book chapters, and made presentations about my research in more than 30 conferences in 15 countries. I have been living in the UK since last 15 years. I was born and bred in a poor family. My father was a farmer and my mother was a housemaker. I was the youngest among five sisters and a brother. My parents did not go to school. My brother and one of my sisters had primary education only. My family belongs to a village called Jango. It is in Talka Kodiji, district Khairpur, Sindh, Pakistan. I like my village, especially the village school where I got my primary education. I was an average student throughout my life, throughout my education. But I could say that I was more interested in extracurricular activities. Here comes the first spark in my life. When I was in class 4, my teachers found that I can be a good debater. They prepared me for a debate competition in which I came first among several students of primary school from the area. Then making speeches in programs and participating in debate competition became my key talent. They defined me who I was. This spark shined from class 4 to 10. I could say I was one of the celebrities of our school. Many people, including my teachers, classmates, friends, supported me, but two of them were always by my side. My late father, Muhammad Saleh, who loved me making speeches, and my teacher, Sayyid Ali Nawaz Pal, who never missed an opportunity to take me to any debate competition in the district. At that time, it was primary school in my village. In fact, many surrounding villages had primary schools only. Therefore, students of the area had to go nearby town Kumbh for further education. Kumbh is 4 kilometers away from the village, and my village was the main bus stop for many surrounding villages. So, all the students had to go high school Kumbh from this bus stop by private transport. I think my generation was lucky. At that time, there was a couple of private bus services running across several small towns and villages to district headquarters. We students had to go to school via these buses, and there were no our reduced fare for the students. I'm thinking back and see that these buses made massive difference in our lives and people lives of people like me. Otherwise, who could not have afforded the travel cost and may have missed the school because of the financial constraints. Now comes the second spark. When I was in class 6, I developed a habit of reading newspapers, magazines, and books. By reading this one thing, I learned immediately that the world is not fair. There are stark inequalities everywhere. With poor family background, only thing I had to be successful in my life is to work hard, which I did. I think my generation was privileged because there were no private schools, therefore, rich or poor, everyone's children were in the same school. Therefore, the wider community members had a stake in the school, and everyone wanted to see that it should perform, and my school performed very well. So, back to my reading habit. For that, I needed regular newspaper and books, but there was no library in the school or in the town. But there was one place in my village where daily newspapers and some of the magazines were delivered regularly. That was the village clinic. At evenings, I started going to the clinic for reading newspapers. After some days, the kind hearted doctor at that clinic offered me to work at his clinic after school just to help dispensing medicines to patients and doing some other ordinary tasks. In return, he said that he will cover my education expenses. I think he found the spark in me that I'm passionate about reading and I want to study. Also, he knew the financial condition of my family and he genuinely wanted to help. I was excited about this opportunity. I went home, asked my parents, and next day, my mom took me and handed over me to the doctor. While working there, I had opportunity to read newspapers and earn something for my education. Uh, but the big advantage was I did not have time to play. So I sacrificed my childhood by working for my education rather than playing with other children. However, time to time, I used to play with neighboring kids. Suddenly, the neighboring household they decided to move from village to a town and they sold their house to another person from the village. And the new owner of the house, Mr. Karam Hussain Vasan, made it Otak. In Sindhi, uh, we called Otak is a guest male house. He was the only person in our area who was gazetted officer at that time. Chacha Karam is a social worker, politician, human rights activist, and educationist. He has inspired and helped many people like me to achieve their goals. His son was my classmate and a friend, so I kept going there. I believe Chacha Karam Hussain Vasan found a spark in me in his patronship and guidance. With his sons, nephews, and I found an organization called Children Welfare Association, an organization of the children, by the children, for the children. I was made General Secretary of this association. It was registered in Social Welfare Department. The organization received some small projects from different funding bodies. The key project was our saving and credit scheme, in which all our children members used to save their pocket money and use later for education purposes. If somebody didn't have enough savings, so our organization used to give them small loans and they could repay in installments. This was again an excellent opportunity for me not to develop social skills but fund my education through savings and easy loans from the association. Me and some of other active friends of the association were sort of our village celebrities at that time, because it was time when our district NGOs and CBOs were booming, and we had important visitors from different national and international organizations time to time, including Madam Sadka Salahuddin, then director of NGORC, Mr. Zafar Junejo and Dr. Jamaldeen Jalalani, and many more people. I also remember Madam Sadka Salahuddin donated us some books and audio cassettes to learn English. To my knowledge, our association was the one of the two children organizations in the entire Khairpur district, and the first one that was run by the children, and the other one was for the children but it was run by the adults. To cut the story short, as we grew, we extended the area of operation of our organization from the village to town Kumbh. And along with other activities, we started a tuition center that was converted into a private school. Similarly, I moved from village clinic to the town clinic. Then, rest is the history. Now I'm turning to the most difficult years of my life, full of, full of failures, disappointments, bad and naive decisions. It was 1998. I passed intermediate pre-medical with A grade. The same year, Government of Sindh announced pre-entry test exam for admissions in medical colleges. So I prepared and appeared in the test, but I did not qualify. So the following year, I appeared in the intermediate exam to improve my grades, then appeared in the medical test. Again, I could not pass. Third time, I appeared in the test, but no luck. So I was doing everything I could do, but it was three time disappointment with myself. It was not failure from there only. In the meantime, I was appearing virtually in all entry exams that I was eligible for, such as Army Medical College, GD Pilot, and so on and so forth. But all these were failed attempts. You must be thinking why I was appearing and reappearing in all these exams and attempting these tests. Why I was not moving forward to do something else? There were multiple reasons behind this. One of them was a few of my friends and classmates. They did pass the test and got admissions. So it was obviously the peer pressure. Second, there was a huge pressure from everyone, including family, cousins, friends, wider community. Everyone who I knew had some sort of expectations from me. Honestly, that was too much to bear. It was an overwhelming mental pressure, and because that, I was making wrong decisions and mistakes. My disappointment increased because there was one of the friends, we both were in the same boat. But his financial position was much better than me, so he quickly moved on and got admission in University of Sindh. He was long gone. Similarly, another best friend who got admission in Kaidiawam University, Engineering University, Nawab Shah, so he too was long gone. So I was alone. In fact, I was lonely and under immense mental stress. There were other people who wanted to help, including my family, cousins, especially late Ali Sher, but my luck was not with me. Whatever spark I had, it was dull. It was so dull, even I did not get admission in subject of my choice at Shah Abdul Latif University, Khairpur, regardless of my good grades. During all these failures, one thing I did right, that completed BA from Sachal Sarmas College, Ranipur, as an external student of Shah Abdul Latif University. This whole time I was teaching in a private school and giving tuitions. By now it was 2001. I was mentally, socially, physically exhausted. So I decided to move Karachi. I contacted a friend who was an ex-colleague from the school. He welcomed and gave me space to stay with him in Karachi. I started teaching in two schools, one at morning, another at afternoon, giving tuitions at evenings. In just a couple of months, I realized this is not going anywhere. So I left the morning school and joined English Language Center to learn English. Meanwhile, I made some friends. We used to read and discuss books. On weekends, tried to meet with renowned people from different walks of life and learn from them. These friends were students at Karachi University. So I also decided to apply for admission in Karachi University. Admission in Karachi University, but not in the subject of my choice. But I thought I don't have any choice, so I should go for it. So, in order to get admission, I needed to submit some documents and attested documents. So, I needed to get these documents attested. I went to a person, Wali Muhammad Roshan. He was a government official to attest my documents. I requested him to attest my documents and certificates. He asked the purpose. I told him that I got admission in Pakistan Study Department, Karachi University. And he said, why don't you go to study anthropology in Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad? I said, I wish I could go, but I can't afford this. As in Karachi, I can work part-time and then fund my studies here. He said he can support me and he can arrange a scholarship from Sindh Graduate Association if I got admission in Quaid-e-Azam University. This meeting was the turning point in my life. I applied for the admission in Quaid-e-Azam University and started looking anthropology books because it was the first time I heard word anthropology from Wali Muhammad Roshan's voice. We still haven't started looking everything on Google. So I went to Urdu Bazaar Karachi where I found a book of physical anthropology from a used book stall. In a couple of months, admission list was announced. I clearly remember I was teaching in a class at Roshan Tarai School, Sachalgot, Karachi, where I learned that my name was on the list. The day I saw my name in the admission list, I was over the moon. It was the happiest day of my life. First time after many years, I appreciated myself, genuinely felt a sense of achievement. First semester at Quaid-e-Azam University was so difficult as I never had a regular education because I attended classroom only till matriculation. I got tuition in first year, second year, and my BA was from college side as an external student. Despite so I had to work hard to clear this degree. So despite social and financial difficulties, the 2 years at Quaid-e-Azam University were amazing. I completed MSc in anthropology with good grades. I loved anthropology. I still love it. Straight after completion of MSc, I got an internship in Trust for Volunteer Organization. Then in Islamabad, and then I was transferred to Karachi. And I worked in Karachi. In a couple of months, I was made assistant regional officer and transferred to Hyderabad office. One day I had a visitor in Hyderabad office and he was a colleague from another office of TVO. While chatting, he asked me about my future plans. I told him that so far I don't know. I don't have any plan. But first, it's my first year of career. But I'm pretty sure I will not stay long in TVO because it's not a challenging job. I want a challenge. He frankly said, it is easy to say, but it's difficult to do. So And his point was he can bet with me that I will stay in TVO because it is a very comforting job. I just said we will see. Within a year, I left TVO and joined Aachen University Community Health Science Department as a research officer in a team of amazing people, including Kausares Khan. This was again a turning point in my life. It was such an excellent experience working with Kausares Khan. She changed whole perspective of my life. In this job, I had opportunity to work communities by which I visited hundreds of villages in Sindh. That gave me opportunity to listen to people, listen to their stories and appreciate their stories. And one instance, instead of going to present the project findings in a large and big conference in Geneva, Switzerland, Kausares Khan sent me. It was such an honor for a village young man to speak in English in front of hundreds of audiences. That moment I felt I have wings and I can fly. Then came the amazing opportunity in 2006. I got Erasmus Mundus scholarship to study in the UK and Europe. As a part of a scholarship program, I studied in UK, Poland, and France. Again, these 2 years were amazing, especially a year in Poland is unforgettable. After completing these degrees, I returned to Sheffield, UK, where I started working in a supermarket. In the meantime, I was applying for professional jobs and giving interviews. Within 3 months, I got a job as a researcher in City University London, moved from Sheffield to London, where I worked 3 years. One first in City University London and then St. George University London. After 3 years working in London, I moved back to Sheffield, where I'm working in Sheffield Hallam University. I live here with my son, daughter, and a wife. As you might have noticed, that the journey to arrive here was not smooth. But what I learned from these experiences is this. I would like to say to you, never ever allow anyone to dull your spark. Whether people try it through unfair criticism, negative comments, social conventions, traditions, or something else, always believe in yourself. This means someone's opinion about you does not have to become your reality. You have to create your own reality. Every no, failure, and every rejection that came to my life that made me who I am. Second thing I would say, learn to deal with the failure. If you failed in something like an exam or an interview and learned how to deal with it is far more important to getting a straight A or a job. So be resilient and know how to bounce back with more confidence and passion. Thirdly, I would say in this technological world where we are surrounded by machines, our attention span has decreased and we are distracted by these things. All the time that why we are not able to give time to ourselves. Therefore, it's time to know yourself. This is the world's oldest advice to know thyself. But it was never practical as today. To understand yourself and to invest in yourself is to maintain your mental, emotional, and physical balance. Fourth, develop your social skills. Means how to talk to people, more importantly, how to listen, how to appreciate people's stories, how to differentiate between facts and opinions, and so on. I believe the real power that can bring a positive change is in social skills, not material possessions. And finally, I would conclude my story with the suggestion and that read books. Read every day, maybe for 10 minutes or 10 pages, but read something. Make habit of reading. I think this will change your life. Thank you for